you are new here, welcome. My name is Dr. Jordan and I create content to encourage others to eradicate the stigma behind mental health and take care of their brain. Today we're going to be talking about the neuroscience behind stress and how to manage it. Have you ever felt your heart racing before a test or before a presentation in front of your classroom or during an argument? Maybe your hands just got sweaty out of nowhere and you just got nervous. Maybe you got the jitters, or you just had a moment where you couldn't sit still. You had to get up and pace. That is called stress, i.e. the stress response, and it happens to all of us. But have you ever wondered why we feel this way? What exactly is taking place inside your body and your brain to make you feel what you're feeling? And more importantly, how can we manage it more effectively? In this video, we're diving deep behind the neuroscience of what's taking place inside your body and brain, sharing some practical tools to help you be more calm under pressure, i.e. stress. Let's get started. So first, let's define what stress actually is. Stress is your body's natural response to any type of threat or demand. There are two main types of stress. You have acute and you have chronic stress. Acute stress is really short term. It's what you feel when you almost got into a car accident but you dodged it, or you're about to give a presentation in front of the classroom. This type of stress can actually be helpful because it helps you focus in, dial in on what it is that's coming up. It gives you energy to deal with the situation. Chronic stress, on the other hand, is actually what happens when you're constantly exposed to stressful situations over a period of time, like being overworked, being in an unhealthy environment, dealing with financial struggles. Chronic stress can both take a toll on your mental and your physical health. So what's going on in your brain and your body when you're under stress? Let's break it down step by step. When something stressful happens, like you're gonna miss a deadline, you're running late for work, or you're receiving bad news, your amygdala, which is the part of your brain that sounds the alarm, it sends signals to your hypothalamus, which acts as a command center in the hypothalamus then communicates to the rest of your nervous system through the autonomic nervous system, triggering the famous, you guessed it, fight or flight response. And here's what's happening next. Your adrenal glands, which sits on top of your kidneys, releases what we call cortisol and adrenaline, commonly known as your stress hormones. Adrenaline is responsible for increasing your heart rate, boosts your energy, and heightens your stress. Cortisol will increase your blood sugar, giving you quick energy, and suppresses non-essential functions like digestion and immune response, which is why people under chronic stress get sick a lot, because their immune system is suppressed by cortisol. This was incredibly useful for our ancestors who needed to escape predators and hunt for food. But this also led to problems like headaches, stomach fatigue, digestive issues, weakened immunity, and even long-term conditions like heart disease or depression. So let's further talk about the effects of chronic stress on your body. When your body is flooded with cortisol after day, it disrupts nearly every system in your body. And here are just a few examples. Chronic stress can lead to functioning and anxiety, depression, and burnout, chronic fatigue. It can also impair memory, decisions, because it shrinks your hippocampus, and this is the part of your brain that's responsible for your learning and your memory. Stress, again, weakens your immune system, which we just talked about a minute ago, making you more susceptible to illness. It also increases inflammation, which is linked to diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and obesity. Which is now, do you see the connection between high functioning depression, the chronic stress, and women of color, black and brown women? Why we always get the autoimmune diseases, and why doctors don't really have a huge explanation for why. Epigenetics also play a role. And without getting into that, I will encourage, oh God. Hey y'all, I'm a little under the weather. I need to take a sip of my tea and then we'll get right back into things. Hibiscus and rose tea will do it for me every time. Constant stress makes it harder to control your emotions. It leaves you feeling irritable, overwhelmed, or emotionally drained. The good news is managing stress doesn't have to be difficult. There are ways we can counteract those effects. Managing stress isn't about feeling better in the moment, but managing you and preventing long-term health conditions and looking out for your long-term health. Now let's talk some solutions. Here are some science-backed strategies to help you better manage your stress effectively. Number one, and I'm pretty sure you hear this more often than not, which is deep breathing. Why does deep breathing help you to better manage your stress? It's because it activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which helps to calm the body down. Remember we talked about adrenaline earlier being one of the main responses in that fight or flight. So we need to deep breathe. Deep breathing isn't just some type of Zen technique that everybody talk about, that it works for some people and don't work for other people. We all have parasympathetic nervous systems, so it will help. You can try this simple exercise. Breathe in. I need you to inhale for 4 seconds. I need you to hold for 4 seconds. And I need you to exhale for 6 and repeat. Repeat this 5 times. Number 2 would be mindfulness meditation. Now, what does this do for the body? Practicing mindfulness helps you to train your brain to focus in on the present instead of the past or the future. Apps like Headspace or Calm can help guide you through mindfulness meditations. Number 3, another goodie but oldie, is exercise. Physical activity reduces cortisol levels and releases endorphins. Endorphins are the feel-good chemical in the brain. Even a 20-minute walk can make a difference. Number 4, I can drill this in until I'm blue in the face. Go to sleep. Sleep hygiene, very, very important. Prioritize a good sleep routine. Have you a time that you're going to go to bed an hour before your 8-hour mark. Mel Robbins talked about this on a recent podcast episode and got my life all together. I now get in bed at 8 o'clock because I want 8 hours of sleep. So I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was getting in bed at 9 o'clock, but the problem was I didn't go to sleep immediately. So I had from 8 to 9 to get to sleep. So from 9 to 5, I was out. That was the best thing that Mel Robbins could have ever mentioned on her podcast. That helped me so much. Avoid screens before you go to bed, and sleep is very powerful at reducing stress, making sure you get adequate sleep. You can't keep running on empty and expecting yourself to perform. That doesn't make sense without you giving your body the fuel and the recovery it needs. And last but not least, social support. Making sure you're talking to your friends and your family or a therapist, because talking gives you emotional relief and perspective. Do not hesitate to reach out if you're struggling. There's a website called Psychology Today I tell all my patients about. You can go on there. It's good for the whole United States. Enter your zip code, or if you're kind of don't care about going virtual, then that would open you up through the whole state if you have insurance, whatever state you're in. Play around with the zip code, see who comes up, pick you out 2 or 3 people, and go for it. Remember, managing stress is a skill, and like any other skill, practice makes perfect. You have to practice managing your stress in order to get in a habit and a routine of managing your stress. The sleep hygiene, everything that we just mentioned, is going to take repetition, it's going to take consistency and time. So don't beat yourself up if you don't get everything right tonight or today. Give yourself some time to add that to your routine and to get used to doing it. So there you have it. We talked about the neuroscience behind stress, and we talked about how to manage. I hope this video gave you a better perspective on what's happening inside your body when you get stressed, when you feel like you're in that fight or flight response, and what you can do to calm it down, to keep it at ease, to keep it at bay, and things you can do long term to figure out what it is that we need to be doing. And if you need some help, psychology today, get you a therapist, talk to friends, family, people that you trust. Which one of the techniques that I talked about towards the end of the video do you think you're going to try to implement first in your routine? When it comes to stress, when you're thinking about yourself, because you know yourself better than anybody, which one do you think has the best benefit for you? Leave it down in the comments, and let's continue to support each other, especially during this time. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on mental health and wellness. Thank you for watching, and remember, you got this. I'll see you on the next one.